Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. As ham radio operators, we are always looking for new and exciting ways to get our antennas up in the air, and especially to make it easier to get them up in the air. And I have two of those things for you today in this little dingus right here. Let's go take a look and see what the magic's all about. You guys have all seen these fiberglass and or aluminum military masts. These are actually meant for holding up canvas tents or tarps, not for antennas, but we as hams know what value something like this has. And this is one of the things that this thing here was made for. It goes right over the top and holds on. Now that you know where it goes and what you can expect from that side of it, there's more. There is always more. And this one here from our buddies over at thehamstop.com has a lot more to offer. So these holes are very suspiciously sized. We'll take a look at in a moment. And then these holes here are also pretty suspiciously placed around the center and also suspiciously sized. So there's a couple of things that we can do. The first is we can take any old regular carabiner, S-biner, hook or whatnot, and we can hook it on. And now we have a place to dangle an antenna from. That looks like a good place to hang up a dipole center. That looks like a good place to string an end-fed half wave with the transformer up or the transformer down and the wire up, or even just the center point in an inverted V fashion. That's pretty simple. If you get yourself a couple of these, then you can use 1, 2, 3 of those as guy points and make sure that your mast doesn't fall over, but it gets even better. This is a typical wire that you get with an antenna clamp that goes onto a car. And on one side it has a PL259 for going into your radio, and on the other side it has an SO239 for going into an antenna like an ATOS or a couple of other ones. I'll show you one here soon. But look at this. It fits right in. So now you can have this at the top of your mast and your coax wire going down the mast and your antenna hanging right off the side of it and fully guide. Some antennas do really good mounted at ground level, and a ground spike like this with the mirror clamp and the SO239 to 3/824 adapter works great. But sometimes, as they say, height is might, and you can mount that same thing on the top of your military mast. So there's an example of a couple of antennas sitting on top of the mast way up high in the air. And this little gadget from Hamstop and some rope is certainly a lot lighter than carrying around this big old tripod. I mean, I like the tripod too, don't get me wrong. You could have a 2-meter antenna, you could have an end-fed half wave, and you could even have a ham stick up there if that's your fancy. Probably wouldn't recommend a ham stick though, but you know, it's an idea, it's a suggestion. Make it your own. Anything that makes field portable life easier is definitely a win in my book. You can find this and other fine products from the Hamstop by following the link in the description down below. I think this thing's a keeper. If you'd like to find some military masts, the best place to go is a Hamfest, because then people won't be griping about shipping because they already have it with them. Or secondary to that, you can go to eBay and get them pretty cheap. You can get a bag of like 10 poles for a very decent price. My friend Rick here at the Hamfest found 2 bags of 8 poles each, I think he said, for $10 total. So a very cost-effective solution for getting your antenna up in the air is these surplus military masts. And once you have the surplus military masts in the air, you need to guy them and you need to put antennas on them. And this thing from the Hamstop is the way to do it. Be sure you're subscribed for more handy-dandy ham solutions from this guy, T.O. In the meantime, there's a video right over here I think you might enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.